What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? Victor here. Welcome back to Chiefs Nation Deep Dive, your home for real football breakdowns, not just hot takes. Let's be honest, this offseason hits different. The Kansas City Chiefs, the team that's dominated the AFC for half a decade, just wrapped up one of their strangest and toughest seasons in recent memory. A 6-11 record, no playoffs, Patrick Mahomes tearing his ACL, and now, yes, the roster moves are already starting. The most recent headline? The Chiefs officially released quarterback Shane Buechele. Now, that name may not shock most fans, but this move says much more about what the front office is planning than it does about the player himself. Today, we're breaking down what Buechele's release really means, from Mahomes' recovery, the quarterback room, and how this team is preparing to climb right back to dominance. Before we start, hit that like button if you bleed red and gold. Subscribe if you believe this team's going to remind everyone next season exactly who runs the AFC West. Alright, let's get into it. The Kansas City Chiefs aren't used to cleaning out lockers in early January. Since 2018, this team has always played deep into January, often February. The standard here isn't making the playoffs, it's making the Super Bowl. But 2024 was different. Things went off the rails starting mid-season when Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL against the Chargers. Once that happened, everything changed. The offense stopped humming. The line struggled without his mobility. Even the defense, which had carried this team early, began spending too much time on the field. And to make matters worse, backup Gardner Minshew also went down with a shoulder injury shortly after. The result? Kansas City had to reach deep into the emergency bin just to finish the season. That's where Shane Buechele came in, a player they signed off the Buffalo Bills practice squad late in the season as pure depth. He wasn't expected to start, he was just there to keep the team operational. Let's give some respect where it's due. Shane Buechele isn't a household name, but he's a guy who's grinded his way through NFL practice fields for years. He played college ball at Texas and later at SMU, finishing with nearly 12,000 passing yards and 87 touchdowns in his college career. That puts him in elite company statistically. He signed with the Chiefs as an undrafted free agent in 2021, showing flashes of command and quick processing during preseason games. He spent most of 2021 and 2022 on the Chiefs' practice squad, occasionally being called up as the third quarterback behind Mahomes and Chad Henne. In 2023, he spent most of the year on Buffalo's practice squad before Kansas City brought him back during the injury crisis. And in Week 18 against the Raiders, with the season all but lost, Buechele finally saw real NFL action for the first time. His stat line? 7 of 14 passing, 88 yards, 1 rush for 4 yards. No touchdowns, no turnovers, nothing wild, but also no disasters. And that last part matters. He ran the offense, protected the football, and looked composed in a chaotic situation. So if he did okay, why let him go? There are 3 real reasons, and all of them make football sense. He was brought in for emergency depth only. The front office never viewed him as part of the long-term plan. Once Mahomes and Minshew are healthy again, there's simply no roster space for a developmental QB who's almost 27. The QB room needs a restructure. After 2 straight seasons of relying on backups due to injuries, Kansas City will likely pursue a more proven veteran number 2. Someone who can stabilize the offense if Mahomes misses time. Think the kind of insurance the 49ers or Eagles have had with capable backups. Evaluating every roster spot early. GM Brett Veach and head coach Andy Reid traditionally get aggressive right after the season ends. They don't carry unnecessary players through free agency if they already know the fit isn't right. That early action approach helped the Chiefs stay competitive for years. From moving on from Alex Smith early to reloading with inexpensive contributors every offseason. So Buechele's release isn't about him underperforming. It's about the franchise recalibrating after a rare down season. This move reveals something crucial about Kansas City's mindset heading into the 2025 offseason. They're resetting strategically, not rebuilding emotionally. Here's what that means. Patrick Mahomes' recovery is the singular priority. The Chiefs' entire offseason program, from draft approach to free agency, revolves around giving Mahomes the best possible conditions to return at full strength. Offensive line improvement is non-negotiable. When Mahomes went down, the weaknesses up front were exposed. The line allowed 39 sacks, one of the highest totals of his career. Expect Veach to hunt for another starting caliber tackle and possibly a swing guard through free agency or the draft. Receiver overhaul coming. The offense never quite replaced Tyreek Hill's explosiveness or Juju Smith-Schuster's reliability. Expect Kansas City to invest in a vertical threat and a dependable slot receiver. Given how many drop passes hurt drives this year, that's a must. Backup QB rethink. Don't be surprised if the Chiefs sign a veteran like Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, or Marcus Mariota type, someone mobile and experienced in hybrid offenses. The goal is not competition for Mahomes but protection against chaos. In essence, the Buechele cut is the first small domino in a much larger reset aimed entirely at preserving Mahomes' prime. Still, from a player's perspective, you can't help but respect what Buechele brought. He walked into a locker room at its lowest point, stayed professional, and did his job. That's honorable in a league where your opportunity can vanish in a week. And don't be surprised if he lands back in Buffalo. The Bills liked him as a smart, trustworthy practice squad QB who prepares like a starter. That's valuable in a system where injuries hit fast. For Kansas City fans, though, this was never about Buechele himself. It was about what his release represents: accountability, urgency, and a refusal to coast on past success. The message from the top down is clear: there are no comfort spots on this roster anymore. Let's zoom out. Since Mahomes took over in 2018, the Chiefs have built one of the greatest modern football dynasties: 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 titles, 6 straight AFC championship games before this down year. But every dynasty faces a crash moment, a year that tests its foundation. For the Patriots, that moment came after Tom Brady's 2008 injury. For the Seahawks, it came after their post-L.O.B. collapse. For Kansas City, this was the year. Injuries exposed thin spots, contract extensions limited flexibility, and opponents finally found ways to slow Andy Reid's offense without vintage Mahomes magic covering up issues. However, and this is important, dynasty teams don't just fade. They adapt. The Chiefs have shown this before. After losing Tyreek Hill, they redesigned the offense around efficiency. After the 2020 Super Bowl loss, they rebuilt the entire offensive line in one offseason. After Travis Kelce's brief slump, they found new ways to scheme him open. This front office learns fast. And everything about this early offseason suggests they're already building for a quick rebound. So what can Chiefs Kingdom expect next? Quarterback room. With Buechele gone, expect the Chiefs to carry 3 QBs heading into camp: Mahomes, a veteran backup, and a late-round draft pick or undrafted rookie for development. Someone like Bo Nix or Tanner Mordecai could fit the mold depending on draft board movement. Offensive upgrades. Look for offensive line reinforcements through free agency, possibly a swing tackle or veteran guard. Wide receiver remains a top priority, especially someone who can stretch defenses like Mahomes used to with Hill. Cap space management. The Chiefs have roughly $35 to $40 million in projected cap space once restructures hit. Expect Veach to move around contracts to retain defensive anchors while freeing funds for 1 or 2 offensive signings. Defensive carryover. Despite the overall down year, the defense under Steve Spagnuolo was a bright spot. Ranking top 10 in sacks and top 5 in red zone efficiency early on. The goal will be maintaining continuity there while boosting offensive firepower. Ultimately, every offseason narrative circles back to one phrase: get number 15 healthy. If Mahomes comes back anywhere near 100%, with a reinforced supporting cast, this team instantly flips back into Super Bowl contention. No rebuild needed, just a recalibration. So, Chiefs Kingdom, to me, this move, releasing Shane Buechele, isn't just about cutting a backup quarterback. It's a statement. It says this front office isn't satisfied. They're not sitting on history, they're chasing another era of dominance. When Mahomes returns, when the offense is retooled, and when the culture sharpens again, the AFC is going to remember really quickly: this dynasty didn't die. It just took a breath. I want to hear from you though. What's your take? Should the Chiefs draft a developmental QB behind Mahomes, or go after a proven veteran backup? Drop your thoughts down below. I read and reply to every single one. If you learned something new today, hit that like button, subscribe to Chiefs Nation Deep Dive, and help this channel grow into the smartest community in football talk. This is Victor reminding you, no matter how rough the season gets, the kingdom always rises.